Yo, what's up, guys? It's Ben10clem here, back with another Ben10clem poll. So, this is week 15 poll. This is before the AP poll is out and the college football playoff poll is out. Conference championships are set, but this is what I have. So, we had a couple losses today, some very unexpected losses, some expected. So, we're going to start out with our 1 through 5. I have Oregon moving up one spot, number 1. Moving up 2 spots is Texas. Moving up 1 spot and going to 3rd is Penn State. Then we got Tennessee at 4. 5 is Notre Dame. 6 is Georgia. And on top of Georgia, I did not want to move them up, but because Ohio State lost and a couple other things, they had to move up 1. They should have not gone into 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. Don't get me wrong, Georgia Tech's a decent team, but they were a 6-4 team. Now they're 6-5. If you're the best team, like some people say, I've gotten some comments, best team, if not the best in the country, how come you go into 8 overtimes against a 6-4 team? That just doesn't add up. So I really am not high on Georgia right now. Anyways, number 7, Ohio State. They lost to Michigan. Don't know how you can fuck that up. Ryan Day is definitely 100% losing his job unless they win the national championship. If they don't win it, there's no chance he's keeping his job. I think it's his 4th or 5th year losing to Michigan in a row. Like, Michigan is on a low, and they're not that good this year. And you go and lose that game is insane. Indiana, 8. Boise State moves up 2 spots to number 9. SMU goes to 10. South Carolina moves up 2 spots to 11. Also moving up 2 spots is Alabama. Same with Ole Miss, moving up to 2 spots, going to 13. Clemson drops 2 spots because of their loss to South Carolina in Death Valley. It was a close game, but they lost, and I'm not dropping them low because it was a ranked matchup. I dropped Ohio State a lot because they lost to an unranked team. There's a difference. Miami dropped 7 spots, and they're now number 15. I dropped them 7 spots because they lost to Syracuse, an unranked team. Now they're not getting in the ACC championship, so Clemson kind of lucked out. Very lucked out. We needed to rely on that. So, yeah. Number 16, Arizona State. Number 17, Iowa State moving up 2 spots. Memphis going to 18. Memphis looked good. They beat Tulane at Tulane 34-24. That was on Thursday, November 28th. Definitely played really good. UNLV. UNLV has been doing pretty good as well. Let me double check. I know they have. Yeah, they played at home and played Nevada. It was 38-14. They've been playing good. Colorado moves up 3 spots to 20 after a dominating win against, let me double check who they played, because I know it was like an insane win. Yeah, it was against Oklahoma State, 52-0. Yeah, absolute blowout. 21, Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Tongue twister. They're a sleeper team, I think. They're not bad. They're pretty good. Let's see. They've been doing pretty good. Who did they play today? They played UL Monroe. They ended up winning 37-23. BYU won their game against Houston. Solidifying, I think, their spot in the Big 12 championship. They played Houston. It was 30-18. Texas A&M dropped 7 spots after their loss to Texas. It's a little harsh, but there's a reason to that. It was 17-7. Only a 10-point game. That's not bad. But if we look here, I'm pretty sure Texas A&M right now is 4 loss team. I can't fucking remember. It's so bad. Then we got Missouri. Finally ranking them. I guess they do deserve to be ranked. They only have 2 or 3 losses. Tulane obviously lost to Memphis. I'm still keeping them in the top 25 because they're only a 2-loss team. And they will be playing in the ACC or the American Conference Championship, I'm pretty sure. So if we look here, we have Ole Miss did pretty good. We have a couple other teams that did good. What I want to look at here is Week 15. Week 15 is an important one because this is conference championship week. Or next weekend is the conference championships. I think it's next weekend. Or it's a weekend for now. No, yeah, it's next weekend. So it's going to be Clemson and SMU. And that is the ACC championship game. Clemson is favored by 1.5. Very close. Because Ohio State lost in the Big Ten championship, it's Penn State and Oregon. Oregon's favored by 4 points. And then in the SEC championship, it is Georgia and Texas. And it was an even line, an even spread. But they ended up changing that to Texas 1.5 point favorites, which I can agree with. It is a little unfair in my opinion because the SEC championship is held in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an hour and a half away from Athens, where Georgia is. It's pretty much home field advantage for them. Then we have, is that the MAC? I don't remember. But the Big 12 championship, BYU doesn't make it. Okay, that's interesting. So the 2 teams playing in the Big 12 is Iowa State and Arizona State. They haven't released the odds on that and the spread. So, yeah. Tulane and Army are also playing. Tulane's favored by 5 points. I agree with that. UNLV and Boise State are playing. Boise State's favored by 4.5 points. Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's favored by 2.5 points. So that's what you're getting for Week 15. Coming up games. The only team that dropped out of my rankings is Kansas State. I've always been high in Kansas State, and kind of sucks to see them. I kind of like them as a team. I think they're pretty good, but they just slightly underperform. They just can't seem to squeeze out that final win, and get what they need. And I know I'm going to get people coming after me for not having Georgia in the top 5 or number 4. I don't think they deserve it. You can't tell me and look me straight in the face and say Georgia is a consistent team. They are not. They were down 17-0 at half against Georgia Tech. If you're that good of a team, you should not have a struggle against that. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't. It's not something you should struggle with. And if I'm the committee, I would be looking at that and saying, do they really belong in a top 5 situation? But I get it. You can say the same thing for Notre Dame. I don't think you can say the same thing for Tennessee. I think Tennessee is actually a really good team. Their defense is solid. Their offense isn't terrible, but they can kick it up a notch when needed. People were like, oh, Penn State hasn't played much of anyone, blah, blah, blah. Or Texas hasn't played much of anyone. I mean, easily the best team right now, Oregon. Without a doubt, they're undefeated. Second best team, without a doubt, is Texas. I mean, those are the two defining teams and also the two teams that are favored to be in the national championship. Like, make it all the way. Which makes sense. I mean, they're the two best teams in the nation. Oregon's been in that top 1 to 3 range the whole year. I mean, they're a good team. I'm just not high on Georgia. I know I get a lot of hate from that, especially on threads. I got some people commenting saying, Georgia's 100% one of the best teams in the nation, blah, blah, blah. They should be a top 5, a top 3, if not the best. I'm like, no. Calling me a casual for ranking them where they are. You can't look me in the face after that Georgia Tech game and tell me they're not inconsistent. Alabama is an inconsistent team. Ole Miss is inconsistent. The SEC has a ton of inconsistent teams. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but their issue is their consistency. They don't have consistency. The one team that has had consistency the whole game, the whole year, is Oregon. Without a doubt. And you could argue Texas. It's just, I'm stating facts, and if you guys don't want to agree with me, that's completely fine, up to you, but I'm tired of seeing people think Georgia is all that when they're not. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the SMU and Clemson game. I am upset that Clemson lost to South Carolina. I mean, we drove down the field really good, really fast, used time really well. It's just bad pass and got tipped into an interception. Clemson definitely could have won that game. But, oh well, we get bailed out because Syracuse beat Miami, which is lucky. I mean, the ACC is not good by any means. They're definitely a weak conference right now. I don't know. There's a lot. I'm also going to be coming out with my own bracket after conference championship week and one more poll. And also one more video comparing the two. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot of changes. I mean, I'm interested to see how some of these games go. I mean, will Boise State win? If they do, they're in. If Tulane wins, I think they're in. And Boise State has to lose, though, for that to happen. Arizona State or Iowa State, whoever wins that is in. I think Oregon and Penn State still make it in, and Ohio State make it in. I think there will be three Big Ten teams. No, 4. I think it will be Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana. There's your 4 teams. And then you're going to have the winner of the ACC championship, and there's only going to be one team from the ACC making it in. That's going to be either Clemson or SMU. So we had one ACC team. SEC teams, you got Texas is going to be in there. Tennessee is going to be in there. I don't know. I personally would not put Georgia in if they lost to Texas. But just, let's say for the sake of things, you got Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, possibly Alabama. It's like a little wishy-washy. I feel like you got to cut Alabama. Alabama shouldn't be in it. You're going to have Arizona State or Iowa State. I'm leaning on the favor of Iowa State right now. So Iowa State. Then you got your Group of 5 team, which I think's Memphis. And you also got Notre Dame. The bracket's going to be a whole shit show. The one thing I do hope is, like, saying if there's 2 SEC teams, they should not play each other. It should be another conference playing another conference in a game, saying an SEC team has to go up north, play in the cold weather. Do that. A Big Ten team has to come down south, play in a more warmer environment, a different environment. That's how it should be played. The committee cannot just let these fucking rematches happen. It's not fun to watch. It's not enjoyable. I don't know. If I was a committee member, I would definitely make sure that doesn't happen. But enough of the ranting. Biggest losers of the week: Texas A&M, Miami, and Tulane dropping 7 spots. Dropping 6 spots is Ohio State. Dropping 2 spots is Clemson. There's your rankings. Top 25 Ben10clem poll for week 15. Let me know what y'all think. See you next time. Peace.